Welcome to the People Connect podcast. Your network is your net worth. Are you ready to take your life to the next level? Be prepared to leap out of your comfort zone and connect with the who's who of what you want to do. Stop, drop, and roll as we start, market, and grow the CEO of you and your host, Nisha Womack. She will help you engage, reinvent, motivate, and reactivate your plans for success.
Good evening. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for taking time out of your day to spend with me. How's everybody doing? Come on in. Welcome. Thank you for being a part of my space today on this Think About It Thursday, this Throwback Thursday. My name is Nisha Womack, and I am a life transition and business strategist. I teach the dreamers, the aspiring, and the new business owners how to transition in your life with information to help you start, market, and grow into the CEO. I also provide inspiration daily and motivation to help you get from point A to point B in your life, whether it's life, business, or relationships. I give you the information that is needed to push you, to motivate you, to help you get to that point A to B to C, wherever you need to be in your life. That is my objective. Hey, welcome. How you doing? Thank you so much for being a part of my space. Hey, Dr. Daphne, what's going on with you? Thank you for being here. It's really great to see you. Thanks for your time. Again, happy Thursday. I'm on here to do my daily information scope to all of those that are interested in real estate. Thank you for sharing, Dr. Daphne. I greatly appreciate you. I greatly appreciate all the love. Thanks for all those that are coming in. Happy Thursday to you. What's up, Mom? So today we are going to talk about selling property. Yesterday, or was it yesterday? I think it was. Yesterday, we talked about the investment aspect of it. Long time no see, lady. Yes. Thank you so much. Been busy. I'm sure you've been busy as well. So thank you for being here today. Thank you for all the love that you guys are throwing up. I greatly appreciate the chocolate and the peach hearts there. So I greatly appreciate it. So as I mentioned yesterday, we talked about the aspects of investing in property. Today we are going to talk about selling property. Thank you so much for sharing, Mama. How you doing today? Maximum, selling property, because just like you need to know how to invest in it to give you some wealth, some added income, you also need to know how to sell it. And if you saw my title, it states the cost of being cheap, for one, and not hiring a professional. I know you have heard this in your life, because my parents used to say it all the time. You pay for what you get. You pay for what you get. And that doesn't matter whatever area of life, what you're buying, what you're doing, you pay for what you get. So that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go on the high end to purchase the high end spectrum. And it doesn't necessarily mean you need to go on the low end as well. I was always taught, in order to get the best value for what you need for your dollar, for your expectations. Yes, that is true. Yes, Dr. Daphne. I was always told to be in the middle of the road. And when you are in the middle of the road, you can find what you need at the cost that typically can fit your dollar budget at that time. And then a lot of times that's where people are, in the middle of the road, because most people know that most people cannot pay for the high echelon. I mean, there's a certain clientele that can pay for that. And then nobody wants the low of the bottom of the road, because most of the time that doesn't come with all the perks and the gifts that's associated with it. So no matter what area in your life, whatever you're buying, whatever you're doing, always try to stick to the middle of the road, because you truly do pay for what you get. And hiring a professional can be the difference between you making money and losing money. The hiring a professional can be the difference between you getting what you expected versus you not getting anything at all. So keep that in mind. And so again, thank you for everybody that's coming in. Again, I'm Nisha Womack. I'm your life transition and business strategist. I teach the dreamers, the aspiring, and the new business owners how to transition in their life with information, motivation, and inspiration to help take you to that next level in your life. I also do life coaching or life transition coaching, where, hey, how you doing? Where I help you transition in your life from whatever frustrations, whatever disappointments that you're going through, because I incorporate that with prayer. I can't do it all by myself because I have to incorporate that with prayer, but I do give you guidance and direction to help you see through those narrow spaces, those dark clouds, so that you can see and find your purpose, so that you can start to profit from your passion and do the things that you so enjoy. So if you'd like to learn more about me and what I do, you can go to 2excelwithnichelle.com. All of my classes are there. Everything that I do in regards to some business aspects are there as well. And you can learn a little bit more. And if you'd like to get in contact with me, I have a chat box on there. Send me an email. Love to learn and connect with you. I'm also available on Instagram at Nisha Womack. I love connecting with people there. I'm on Twitter at Nisha Womack and on Facebook at the Life Transition Strategist. So let's get down to business because it is 9:20, somewhere around there. I'm a little late because I had my class, my BEA CEO program class. That's every Thursday that we have, and we're just getting out, and I had to eat, and because I'm hypoglycemic, so I had to eat. Had to eat, and then I had to get my kids my son settled here in the home. So thank you so much. Right. I got to eat. I will not miss a meal. Thank you, Jesus. I'm so appreciative of that. Will not miss a meal. So thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciate it. Let's go ahead and get started. And I'm assuming that you guys can hear me. Thank you for those blue hearts, those green hearts, those peach hearts, those chocolate hearts. I greatly appreciate you from my heart to yours. God bless you. Yes. Thank you for the smiley faces as well, Dr. Daphne. So let's go ahead and get started with number one. The reason why you need to hire a professional to sell your home in real estate is because we have a fiduciary responsibility to our clients. What is a fiduciary responsibility? That means if we screw up, mess up, F up, anything of that nature, our license can be at stake. Our license can be at stake just as an attorney, just as a doctor, anything of that nature. Why? Because we go to school to get licensed. And any profession that isn't licensed typically falls in that bracket. They have a fiduciary responsibility to the client to make certain that they do what they said they were going to do and that they provide the services that they advertised and that they said that they were going to do in the first place. That's why it's always good to get involved with someone who is licensed, because you know that they're going to be more concerned about messing up than getting things right. They don't want to mess nothing up because their license can be at stake. Like if you need a heart surgery, you wouldn't go to a dentist for heart surgery. The same thing with real estate. The difference between real estate is that a lot of people confuse and think everybody is a realtor. Everybody is not a realtor. There is a difference between an agent and a realtor. A realtor, again, has extra education. They're backed by a board that supports their decisions, and typically they have access to attorneys and all of that sort. So you want to make certain that you get a realtor versus somebody who just says they are a real estate agent. Typically, all of us are licensed. Real estate agents should be licensed too, but most definitely if they are not a realtor, you need to ask them if they are or not, because again, that means they're backed by that R, the National Association of Realtors, and if anything happens, then they have that board to support them, and it also supports you. So keep that in mind, number one. The next thing that I want to share with you is you need to make sure that you hire an agent to sell your house and to help you buy one, because we have more access than you will find on the internet. A lot of clients I talk to, they go to Zillow to get their appraised value for their house. That's not a true appraised value for your house. The people that have the true appraised value for your house are licensed real estate agents, because we have access to know what the house is sold for in the neighborhood, what the comps are going for when the county assessor goes by and do the drive-bys. We can manage all of that and give you a fair evaluation of what you should sell your house for. Nobody that's not licensed has that information. We have it through the MLS that we have to pay for to be a part of the multiple listing service. And so we have that access through there to be able to provide you the information to give you a fair price for the sale of your home. And so why is that so important? Because if you decide to become a for sale by owner, which a lot of people attempt to do because they want to be cheap and they want to save the cost of hiring an agent. That's not a smart idea. Number one, if you have not had the education of your state to understand the real estate laws, not only are you putting your clients at risk, but you are putting yourself at risk as well, because the client can sue you just like the homeowner will. I've seen it done in my over 16 years of being a licensed real estate broker. I've been a licensed real estate broker for over 16 years, and I've seen it happen where sellers sued the buyer and where the buyer has sued the seller. Why? Because they gave them the incorrect information when they tried to sell their house for sale by owner. Because if you pay for that house and it's more, what you paid more than what it's worth, you are stuck. You are stuck. And if you, unless you're going to stay there for the rest of your life, but if you try to sell that house, you're not going to more than likely get the work, because more than likely someone is going to come in with a licensed real estate agent. 80% of homes are sold through a licensed real estate agent. So therefore, if you decide to do for sale by owner, then you are missing that 80% of traffic. So that's a lot of eyes seeing your property. And so we have this list, and we're able to go pick up any house that's in your area, your price range that you're interested in, and we're able to offer it to our clients. And I, per se, have a buyer's list. Most real estate agents, especially if they've been in business a long time, have a buyer's list. So I can go to this list. If I put your house on the market, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-story, I have a client list that are looking for that type of house. And so that's something else you want to ask your real estate agent. You want to ask them, do they have that buyer list? What that does to you is give you more ammo to help you sell your house quickly. So keep that in mind. Zillow, nothing bad about it. It's good to go on there and look at it, but it's not backed by the National Association of Realtors. The site that you can go to learn more about that is realtor.com, and they'll give you the actual valuation where you can go on there and find an agent. If you're not familiar with a licensed agent in your area, you can go on there and find that. Yes, ma'am. Yes. People need to know that, because I have tons of clients that come to me all the time and ask me about that. And I'm like, they tell me, oh, my house is worth $100,000. And I said, where did you get that information? Zillow. And I can't do anything but laugh, and I have to make them aware that information is not accurate. And then sometimes it's old. So thank you so much for sharing as well. I can barely see your name there, but God bless you with those green mint hearts. So a lot of times that information is old. I have people coming to me telling me they found houses on Zillow. And guess what? It's sold. The house that they brought me telling me that they're interested in, that house sold probably a month or two ago. And when I advised them that house is no longer available, they're like, well, I saw it on Zillow. And I'm like, well, Zillow is not an affiliation of the National Association of Realtors. So they don't have to change their information like we do on a regular basis. We have to keep our information updated. When that house sells, we have to put contingency on there, or we have to put under contract something to let other people know that it's no longer available, because that is misrepresentation. And if you are familiar with anything about the law, I'm not an attorney, but I know misrepresentation is a crime. If you are misrepresenting information that you're selling, you can go to jail for that. It's punishable by law. So keep that in mind when people tell you that, or if they are telling you they're finding something on Zillow. Don't try to put your house for sale by owner on the market and then go with the valuation of Zillow, because you will either lose money or you will be in a situation where you can get yourself in trouble along with the buyer. Number three that I want you to be aware of is that agents, the reason why you need to hire a professional agent is because we have access to the legal contracts. The contracts, on the contract, it clearly states that this is legally bound by law. So when you sign this contract, if you by chance default on it, not only can you be prosecuted, but you can go to the highest court of law depending on who's signing the contract. Anything that you sign, a contractual agreement, that is by law. So we have access to that. And if you are selling your home, if something happens where things don't go through, you can take that contract to a court of law and you can exercise it. Whereas if you go to Home Depot or all of those other stores, Office Depot and things of that nature, and get a contract, yeah, those are good contracts. And I would recommend that you at least have something. if you're not working with an agent, but of course I'm going to recommend that you get an agent. We have the Real Deal Holyfield. If something were to happen, then our contracts are backed up by the law of the National Association of Realtors, as well as the state that you are buying the property in, and you can go exercise your right if something happens with the sale of your property. If the buyer defaults, or if something happens with the agent not following through on their commitment and in the guidelines of that, you can exercise your right and your options. That's why you should choose a professional versus somebody that's not. That's number 3. Number four, again, people underprice their houses when they try to sell them by themselves. Price verification. Again, that's something that we as licensed realtors have access to, and you will not be misguided, misdirected if you are going with a professional. We can let you know, as I mentioned earlier, what the houses have sold for through MLS, and we can price it accordingly, not only so you can get an investment back, because that's your goal for selling the house. You don't want to get the same amount you paid for the house unless the market value has gone down, because that does happen. I had a client paid $140 for their house. When we went back to sell it, it was only worth $100,000. And so my ultimate goal was to get them as close to that $140 as I possibly could. Of course, the house didn't appraise at $140 anymore. It only appraised at $100, but my goal was to make certain that they at least walked away with that, because the property value's going down. And throughout the United States, not just in my area, but even if you check in your area, the valuation of houses have gone down. Now the market is taking an upturn now. We're starting to see a surge where home prices are coming back up, but we're still in that battle with loans, because it's very difficult for someone to get a home loan now, especially if your credit is not right. And that's why I recommend, if you're interested in purchasing a home, start working on your credit at least like a year in advance. If you start working on your credit at least a year in advance, you'll put yourself in a higher bracket versus someone who just decided to go get a house. And even if you have 800 credit scores, because I still have those people that have 800 credit scores, and it's still something on their credit that may infringe them from getting a home. So you want to make certain that you look at those things in advance before you take the time out of your day and waste someone's time as well as yours to look for a home. So price guidance is so important. Market conditions, agents know what the market conditions are. We particularly know if something is going up in the neighborhood that can take your property value down, if they're building a highway, if they are building, I know a lot of times when they're building shopping centers, people don't like that. Most of the time, agents are aware of that information, and they can advise you where to go to get that information. That too is public information. All you need to do is go to the municipality where you're thinking about buying, and they'll tell you any new things that are coming up in that area. Now, that's something you need to think about. Why? Because that too can impact your sale price when you decide to sell, or even when you decide to buy. Because if a shopping center is coming up, and it may not increase the value because they're tearing down a lot of land, or they're putting new roads in, and it's going to deter traffic from going from one place to the next, that can tear down your property value. So those are things that you need to look for when you are purchasing a home. It's so important that you keep those things in mind, because it could be the difference of you making money when you sell or losing money when you buy. So keep that in mind. Number 4, price guidance. The next thing that you want to be mindful of that realtors are aware of is we have education. As I mentioned in the beginning, our fiduciary responsibility is to protect the client at all times. We have to be licensed to sell real estate, and everybody is not a real estate agent that is licensed. So people, I know I work with investors, and they say they're a real estate agent. No, you're not. If you have not sat in a classroom or gone online to take classes, you're not an agent. And if you're not certified by the state in which you're doing business in, you're not licensed to do it. And so keep in mind with those investors, because I work with them and I love all my investors that I work with, but I have to make them aware when you are approaching clients, people to buy your home, make sure that you advise them that you're not a real estate agent, because even you too can be at privy for lawsuits. So key to keep that in mind. The next thing that you want to be aware of, and this is my last point here that I want to share with you. I think that's the last one. Yeah. We can help you qualify buyers. Number 6. A licensed real estate agent has the ability to help you qualify buyers when you are deciding to sell your home. Now, I've run into for sale by owner people, and they'll come to me and they'll tell me they got so many people that wanted to buy, but nothing ever happened. Why? Because they don't know what they need to do to qualify buyers. In order to qualify a buyer, they have to have a contingency stating that they are capable of getting a loan. And so a loan approval comes from the mortgage broker, and we're able to provide that to our sellers to let them know this is a good buyer. You know, they've submitted everything that they need to have to the mortgage banker to say that they are approved for a loan. Now, I must be honest with you, things still happen at that point. I've had people that were pre-approved, and then when it came time to close, they lost their job. Something happened where they ran their credit, and they saw that they went to the furniture depot and spent like $3,000 to get some furniture for a house they haven't even closed on yet. Those things happen. You know, but the thing is that you're bound by that contract, as I mentioned earlier. And if the buyer does not come through with their agreement per the contract, then you can either sue or you can get the earnest money. It's one or the other. But you are at greater risk if you don't have an agent behind you. We're also good in negotiation. Now, that's something that I will drive you down with negotiation. My clients know I'm going to make certain that you get the best deal for your dollar and that you get some money back in return. And if you're buying a house, I'm going to make certain that you get in there with the lowest amount. If you're selling it from me, I'm going to make certain that you get your greatest return. Negotiation, negotiation, negotiation. If you get someone who is timid and is afraid to go in there like a pit bull and let them know, look, my clients are not going for this, then you could be privy to just getting the end result. So that's why you need to hire a professional. It's always cost effective to pay upfront versus paying in the end, because you're going to pay either way. Either you're going to pay for the services that are rendered, that are quality, that are good, that are up to par and standard, that people go to school for and get their education for, or you're going to pay on the end, the back end, when you did not do due diligence on your part and hire a professional. You're going to either end up in court or a loss of money, time, effort. Time is money, or energy, one or the other. So any questions? Those are my 6 tips to you why you need to hire a professional real estate agent to help you sell your home. And you know, I don't negate away from the fact that, and when I'm talking to my clients about costs, I don't apologize for my costs, because you're going to pay for what you get. Now, I do have multiple tiers of service that I offer my clients, and I've been able to do that because I am a licensed broker, and you know, I'm able to give them different packages. If you go through a big company, a lot of times they just have one standard fee, which is most of the time either 7% or 6%. My company gives you different brackets that you, whatever you are needing from us, we're able to charge you. And so that's why sometimes it's good to go with a smaller broker, because they have a little bit more flexibility to be able to help you with costs. If I know that you're not getting much from the sale of your home, you know, I try my best to be as flexible as I can, but then also keeping in mind all the work that you're expecting me to do. So I try to keep all of that in mind, and I write down everything and let you know what I'm going to do to help you to sell your home and to get the highest dollar and reward for your efforts for being a homeowner. I mean, the greatest investment, one of the greatest investments, is the right to own property. And obviously, as I mentioned earlier, you don't go into it to come out losing. You want to make certain that you get some out of it, so when you go buy that next house or whatever you decide to do with the proceeds, that you're able to do it without going into debt. And so my name is Nisha Womack. As I mentioned, I've been a licensed real estate broker for over 16 years. I've helped thousands of people become homeowners, become investors. This is what I do every day outside of being a real estate, an insurance broker as well. I'm also a licensed insurance broker and a consultant and a life transition strategist, helping people transition whatever stage they are in their life to help them improve it, make some money and profit from their gifts that they have. So that is my experience. I have an MBA in business, a BA in business with concentrations in leadership and in management. And I'm currently pursuing Dr. Daphne, a PhD. I got a doc on her now, so she knows all the efforts and, all of the stress that's involved in getting those credentials so that you are capable to excel at another level and share your gifts with the world. And so that's what I do on a regular basis. Any questions? Any questions? All right, Dr. Daphne. Yes, busy, Dr. Daphne, trying to keep up and stay on top, but I won't give up. I'm going to keep moving. I'm like Jay-Z now. I'm going to keep moving through it, all the hardships and the hurdles, because I know I have a goal. And when you have a goal, you keep pushing forward. You don't give up and you don't give in. You just make it happen. And that's the name of the game. So, any questions? No questions? All righty then. Well, I greatly appreciate each and every one of you for taking time out of your Thursday evening for being here. And if you like to connect with me outside of Periscope, again, I'm available at Nisha Womack on Instagram, where I post daily inspiration, motivation, business tips, and we talk about some life. I met some awesome people on there, as well as on Twitter, Nisha Womack. Yes, ma'am. Yes, I got to go. I had a little bit, but I'm going to get some more because I'm starting to get a little sweaty up here. I thought I'd turn the air on, but oh well. Life. So I got to leave this office and head on home to my family. Yes. So thank you so much, Dr. Daphne, for being a part of my space. I greatly appreciate it. Got to catch you sometime soon, too. Stop in and seeing all the great things that you are doing. So no more questions. You can contact me at toexcelwithnichelle.com. Until next time, may everything you touch turn to gold. Hey, be blessed. Love you more, Dr. Daphne. Be blessed and highly favored in everything that you do. I'm signing off now, you guys. I greatly appreciate all that love you're giving up there. To all my replay viewers, thank you so much. 100. To all my replay viewers, thank you so much for coming in to tap that screen. It's greatly appreciated. If you found this information valuable, don't hesitate to share. Somebody needs to know this as well. You can also listen to my podcast at the People Connect podcast, where you can download episodes. Had a great guest on today. Had Dr. Finch on. So if you want to learn more about how you can transition from your corporate life into entrepreneurship, you can check that episode out today. And I think that's about it. Again, thank you for all that love. I am signing off now as Nisha Womack. Have a fabulous, wonderful, blessed evening. Love you much. Bye-bye.